This horrific manga showed me what true fear is, and it'll show you too. A husband and wife wrestling their marital problems and fighting to survive as best they can once they get lost in a dark, deadly cave. Will they escape from this monster straight out of The Descent? We look at Hideout, written and illustrated by the great Masasumi Kakizaki. A man named Seiichi Kirishima and his wife Miki take a vacation after tragedy, but they both get kidnapped. But that's not all there is to it. Will they escape? Why did the husband bring her out here? I've worked my booty off to create an engaging video showing you this traumatic story. And if anything, you'll love the art. And let's figure out what happens in Hideout. Cue the Gohan. Everything started on the day my wife and I went on a vacation in a certain island. The goal of our trip was to heal our respective wounds. Seiichi here watches a father playing with his son. The relationship with his wife fractured. Ever since what happened last year, it's been complicated between us. Seiichi wishes to restart their relationship, but Miki doesn't believe his nonsense. He tells her of a nearby waterfall that will bring happiness to couples who come to admire it. The quiet couple drive down a dark, wet road towards this waterfall. Once they get lost, she calls them useless. Seiichi mentions this island is filled with the bones of fallen soldiers littered all over the ground. The blood of fallen soldiers has contaminated the island. Miki ignores his spooky story and reminds him that everything that happened last year is your fault. It's because of you that our son died. It was at this precise moment that the very little hesitation that I had left shattered into tiny little pieces. Hesitation to do what? What does he mean, guys? He pretends that the vehicle is out of fuel. Surprisingly, she believes that. He opens the trunk and reaches for his weapon. As they venture deeper into the wet woods, he stops. This panel is classic. I love this illustration so much. You can see the malice. You can see the evil. He hits her. He tells her that it was her fault. She is the one responsible. She is the one who killed their son. Miki dodges a second hit and runs away from this psychopath. Do I regret having attempted to kill her? Not even for a second. Seiichi follows his prey into a dark cave and thinks to himself, it was a mistake to enter that cave. He finds Miki injured and hits her over the head. Now he can finally start a new life. But someone is watching, or something. This is a boy looking for his mama. Seiichi ignores the boy and thinks about how his wife is gone and he can start over now. The death of his son plunged him into a nightmare. Seiichi finds a lost shoe, but he is attacked by a cave monster. Meanwhile, the boy drags the body of Miki away deeper into the dark, deadly cave. But who is this monster? It's an old World War II veteran. Seiichi dodges his attacks, shocked that the nightmare hasn't ended like he thought it would. He finds an underground chute, but where does it lead? He runs away from the screaming monster chasing him and slips down into the depths below, passing out. If you made it this far into the video, comment down below your favorite horror manga. That would make a great video. In the past, Seiichi was an author. Unfortunately, his writings aren't successful. He's struggling to earn more money to provide for his family. His wife is what they call a gold digger, spending all his money. So, we see how the marriage will get rocky. But what about their son? Back in the present, Seiichi wakes back up at the bottom of the chute, isolated and amid a new hell. I love this illustration too. In each room, unlucky visitors have perished. But in one room is a woman chained to the wall. She tells them that he, Seiichi, is the 9th victim of the monster above, and soon terror will turn into despair. The monster knocks him unconscious and drags him into his new horror. Seiichi barely awakens to get a sneak peek of what will happen to him. Another man is tied to a chair, missing his limbs, begging to be dead. Begging to die. Tied up in the darkness, Seiichi loses track of time. The only thing keeping him from losing his mind are the ghastly screams of the other man being tortured right next to him. Seiichi screams in horror not wanting to die like this. And then a surprising figure creeps into Seiichi's torture room. It's Miki. She's alive. It's the consequences of my own actions. A wave of remorse swept over me, but not because I attempted to take out my wife. No, it was because I failed to finish the job. She tells him that lowlifes like him can never start over. Nothing will ever change. Looks like the monster doesn't harm women. Miki tells him that she'll play the sad widow, telling everyone he died in an accident, and then she'll collect his insurance money. What was the tragedy that tore apart this marriage? In the past, Miki left the house to go shopping again and tells Seiichi to watch their son. Unfortunately, he is listening to music and he can't hear her. The boy ventures outside playing with the hanging laundry. Climbing a ladder, the boy slips, falling off the balcony. Seiichi had no idea his wife even left and is horrified seeing the body stories below. And that was the tragedy. Suddenly, the cave boy creeps into the room. Seiichi puts two and two together, realizing the tied up woman could be his mother, and we know who his father is. Seiichi asks him to untie him, and he will take the boy to his mother. But he says it with light Yagami type energy. Seiichi finds some clothes and the weapon used by that monster. If Seiichi rescues the woman, maybe she can lead them out of this hellhole. Interestingly, Kakizaki low-key has you rooting for the psychopath who tried to kill his wife, no matter how evil she may have been. His wife is letting the monster man have intercourse with her to win his trust, but then suddenly, he tells Miki she was right about this cave, about this monster, about our awful past. Now it's time to bury it all. But before he can kill her, the monster man grabs him, allowing Miki to escape. However, the woman who was tied up in the other room, she tried escaping. The monster man sees Miki trying to escape too. How does that make him feel? Seiichi slashes the monster man and runs after his wife. Screaming at the top of his lungs is like symbiote Spider-Man running after Shocker. In the past, Seiichi floated the idea of having another child, to have another chance. Miki hears this and says, "I never wanted kids to begin with," calling her son that died an accident. She doesn't regret his death at all. Back in the present, Miki races to get free. She's almost out of the cave, moving and moving, but then she is harpooned by the monster man. Meanwhile, Seiichi and the boy find the hatch where the woman is tied up, but time for one last battle between Seiichi and the monster. He tells the boy, "Don't worry, Jun. Daddy will be right behind you," calling the cave boy the name of his son. Seiichi says, "I'm not gonna cry for help and beg to be let go. I'm gonna fucking kill you." Seiichi has killed before, and I don't mean attempting to kill his wife. He took out his wife's parents. Finally, he manages to kill the monster man with a grenade. He then tells his new family, "I'd do anything for my dear wife and son." He's literally adopted them as his family. And then she says, "It's finally time to get out of here." Get out? Why would you want to go outside? Seiichi says to the woman. Seiichi has replaced the monster man, along with gaining his goal of wanting a family. The woman realizes he's just as bad as the monster man and turns away from him, just like Miki did, just like everybody else turned away from him, and he kills them. And all of this happened in the year 1989. 21 years pass. A man and woman are on vacation, but their car gets stuck. They look around for help finding the car that Seiichi drove 21 years ago. They then find a manifesto, a short passage written by Seiichi himself, welcoming visitors to the cave. For some reason, the two are stupid enough to go inside, where they meet the horrifying Seiichi, who has become a new, different kind of monster, and they will become his new family. So, Kakizaki made some hot fire right here. In the beginning, you did not root for the murderer. But then you find out that Miki was an awful person, and low-key you gain sympathy for Seiji. But life is complex, but not complex enough for me to feel too bad for this serial killer, no matter how rough the marriage was. I don't think anybody is missing Miki though, so. The art was the best thing. This is some of the best manga art I've ever seen. I think this is a manga I wish I could have a physical copy of because I liked it a lot. If you want to see more manga like this, check out Brutal, a disturbing manga where a police detective kidnaps society's worst people and shows them eye for an eye. Think Dexter in Japan. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed, click the like button and subscribe to see more messed up manga. Thanks for watching. Spooky out.